Good morning, Isha. How you doing? You well?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning to you too.
Um, we're talking today because you have helped to facilitate your daughter writing a book, bringing a book to market, which I won't tell them the title. I'll let you tell them the title. But before we even go into that, just help us to understand the circumstances which saw you, a mum of three in lockdown, um, taking on the task of writing and self-publishing a book, which you've managed to achieve.
Yeah, as if I didn't have enough going on, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
okay. So, my daughter, my beautiful black girl, she's 5 years old, and she came to me one day and said, "Mum, I want to be white." Now, if she was a young white girl, that would be great, but she isn't. She is a beautiful black girl, and so I was disheartened, to say the least, to hear her say that, and all sorts of things sort of run through your mind. And we've moved to an area that is a lot less diverse than London, so you start to think to yourself, okay, we thought we were moving here to benefit you. Has this hindered you? Why would you possibly be saying this sort of thing to me? So we had a conversation about the fact that she is beautiful, and I just sort of reaffirmed to her that you're wonderful, you're amazing. And I kind of pondered on what can I do to um, reinforce in her and empower her to feel happy with who she is. So the idea for the book didn't quite come yet. The killing of George Floyd happened, and then I was really angry, like the rest of us were. And so I think the anger of that and the combination of what my daughter said just came together in some sort of special mixture. And I just thought, right, that's it. I can't change the world, but in my own little sphere of power, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to create this book. So that's how I Am a Beautiful Black Girl, Book of Affirmations, was born, really.
So, have you ever written a book before, Aisha?
Never.
Right. So, take me through the creative process that you and your daughter undertook to pull this together.
Okay, so I just thought, I'm just going to do this little book for my daughter. If she's the only person that ever sees it and it has the desired effect, no problem, that's fine. So I thought, let me just go online and look for some images that I could download and just add to some positive words, and that should suffice. That journey led me to illustrating the book myself because having not planned to make a book, I'm sure you can imagine the budget for an illustrator is quite substantial. So I looked for the images that I could download, found some wonderfully beautiful Afrocentric images, and on kind of investigating further, found out that it was a white artist that had drawn those images. And in a time with the Black Lives Matters movement and Black Pound and us supporting ourselves economically, I just couldn't justify getting those images via that route. So I'm quite a creative person. I make jewelry. I like to tinker around with things. So I just thought, let me just try something and see. So I took my daughter's picture and traced it and sort of added some embellishments, and voila, the idea was born. So all the images in the book are actually family members or young black girls that we know. So it's quite a dear project to my heart, because not only has it impacted my daughter, but all the other girls that I know that have seen their images in the book are, really overjoyed to see themselves in print. So yeah, I just had to find a way, really.
So, what made you decide to make it affirmations as opposed to a narrative, a story?
Because it's something that I did with my daughter when I'm putting and my children in general, when I'm putting them to bed at night, I'll say, you are worthy, you're wonderful, you're excellent. So that was something that was already in place. I just needed to link it to the fact that you are these things as well as being beautiful and black. They're not separate. So I needed to sort of combine the two. So that's where the idea for affirmations came from.
You mentioned that a lot of the illustrations are of family members and stuff. How's the book been received by, family, wider, people that maybe have seen it beyond the family as well?
Mm-hmm. Um, they were really pleased. Well, the girls that are in the book have been really pleased, and a lot of them have said, "Oh, I can go as myself on World Book Day because I'm in a book," which is fantastic and cheap for the parents, which is great. um, But wider than that, the book is in my daughter's school. They read it as the end of day story, and she has been so proud to walk around the school knowing that the book is in the school. So it was well received by the school as well. And also I've had feedback from parents with boys that have said they've bought the book and they've read it because they want them to respect Black women. I've had good feedback from non-Black parents who've said they're using it as a tool to show their children that beauty comes in all forms. So the feedback overall has been really good. And I have a friend who's got a 2-year-old who is now reciting the affirmations. So it's never too young to start empowering our children.
When you were doing the research and looking around for, I guess, similar titles, similar things to produce and use in the same way, did you find much options out there?
There are options. I think a lot of us as Black parents are becoming self-published authors because we see there is a need. And I'm sure there are many parents who've had similar experiences to myself with their children saying something or another relating to not wanting to be themselves. So there are a lot of books, but I just felt that this was a heart project. I needed to show her more than just saying, I've bought you this book. It was so much more empowering to say, I have made you this book because you are beautiful and wonderful and excellent. So that's sort of why I decided to make it myself. But there are lots of good Black books out there for our children, but I think I just needed to put my heart into it and present it for my daughter. So,
where can people buy it?
Amazon. It is on Amazon. You can purchase it now. I've got a copy of the book here. This is I Am a Beautiful Black Girl. And like I said, all the images, this is my daughter on the front, and all the images are of beautiful Black girls that we know. And also what I discovered while making the book is my daughter would come and say, Mommy, what does that word mean? Now, I know what the words mean, but to explain it to a 5-year-old, you can find yourself saying, it kind of means this. So what I've done is I have put a glossary in the back of the book. So not only is it an empowering book, but it's also educational because all the words are there for the children to understand.
For any parents out there who are watching this and are thinking, yeah, it's all well and good getting something like this going, but I can't draw. What would you encourage them to do in terms of getting around it if they wanted to write their own book or just engage with their children in a similar way?
In a similar way, I would say what I discovered on this journey is
because I asked that question because I can't draw. That's what I'm asking.
I said the same thing, but I think when you're motivated enough, I was inspired enough by my daughter to just try, and luckily it came out in a way that I could present to the world and say, here's this book. So I was lucky in that sense. I would say there are lots of young people who are excellent at illustrations and looking for a way to practice their talents and all those kind of things. And on this journey I discovered quite a few young people that said, oh, Auntie, I can draw. So I would say use the talent that we have in our community, and make sure you pay the young people, but of course you're giving them some exposure and some experience, and so tap into those kind of things as well. I think that would be good, and I have that in mind for future projects as well.
So there's going to be a future project then. There's another book coming? Is there a book?
There is.
Ooh, okay. Tell me more.
I've gone from 0 to 100. Like I said, I have 3 children, 2 of whom are sons. So I Am a Wonderful Black Boy is in the making as we speak. And I also have a stepson who is mixed race. So I also want him to be represented. So it's going to be a series of 4 books, just confidence building for children and making sure they feel empowered. And the other 2 books are going to have images of children from different backgrounds, different races, so that children can see beauty in all its representations. That's the plan.
I shall look forward to reading those, and we'll talk offline about possibly running a competition in the Voice newspaper so we can give some away.
That'd be great.
But yeah, congratulations on bringing it to market, and fantastic achievement for you and your daughter, and on the rest of your children. To be honest with you, to see them, for them to see you guys engaging in that must make you feel good.
Yes, it does. It does.
Good luck and continued success moving forward. All right.
Thank you for having me.
All right.